I'm Kaz Pierce, and I wanted to take you through how I went with my second attempt at a cloud pour. You can see I've already made up my layered cup, and I've got some of my favourite colours, the purple, the blues, the aquas in there. And I had actually layered this cup with white at the bottom, all my colours in the middle. There may have been some little thin layers of white in between some of the colours and then white on top. But you can see I'm predominantly getting this 50% white and 50% colour here. And it's just beautifully mathematical almost. So this piece has really been an exercise in further controlling and considering what happens when the paint goes into the cup and when it's coming out. I'm getting to the point now here, you see I've got all that colour just on that top left side, and then as I pour you get this white coming out now. So this is the white that went into the bottom of the cup, and this is the point where I should have stopped, because here I am just thinking, okay, I've got to pour all my paint out of the cup. I don't know who told me that as a rule, but it's not a rule. You should stop when you want, because in the same way that I said in the last video, which was my first attempt at a cloud pour, the colour that comes out first, that ends up on the perimeter, largely is going to disappear by the time we finish, because it's going to fall off the edge of the canvas by the time we've tilted and swirled this all around. In the same way, the paint that comes out last is going to be the feature and is going to take up that prime real estate in the middle of the canvas. So right now I've got this massive disc of predominantly white, and I've got those gorgeous luscious colours, but a lot of those I'm going to lose because they're too far out. I've also got, very, very happily, all that beautiful cell development that you can see, and you'll notice it's very obvious that on the white side there's very little cell development, but the really cool cell development is where the white paint has been interacting with the heavily pigmented coloured paint. So once again, you know, there's something really unique going on with the white that we make up to do this type of art piece. And the white is made up from acrylic enamel mixed with artist white paint. And you'll see, you can definitely see, it's very obvious that most of the action is on the left-hand side of the painting. Now, the other thing that's going on for me, which is I'm continuing to learn, is when you do these ring pours and you've got that mass of paint in the middle that's heavy and thick, and you're swirling and stretching it, very often I become so concerned with making sure the corners are covered. Particularly challenging with a piece like this, where you've got a circular disc of paint on a rectangular canvas. So already you're going to have to be stretching bizarrely for that circular disc in order to get the paint to get to those far corners. And I'm having to learn to really watch that I don't compromise the composition or the texture of the painting in order just to get the corners covered. So there you can see that white disc that I had in the middle, that was predominantly white, is now the main piece of the work. It's the main thing on the canvas. Luckily it has stretched out a lot, so you can see layers of paint underneath and behind. They're all being stretched out. The white on top is getting thinner and thinner. You can see the colours underneath. And we've got that beautiful cell development, very typical of the cloud painting. So in all, this has actually turned out to be a really nice piece, a really good second attempt and a really good learning exercise.